Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. It's the same person that you definitely knew was gonna be here. I keep saying it's me as if it's gonna ever be anybody else. It's always gonna be me. I'm your host, Richie Tolway. Welcome to the Unguided Nations Podcast. This is gonna be episode 3. If episode 2 goes out to my liking. I believe it will, but it's only been a couple days since I recorded the last couple episodes. What's happening though is tomorrow I am leaving to go to Angkor Wat over in Cambodia. So I'm trying to get one recorded and in the can, as they say. Does anybody say that? Who has ever said that? Was that a film term? I think it's a film term, in the can. Back when they used to put the film in the can so it wouldn't... Anyways, this is not going to go into a can. This is going to go onto my hard drive, which has been a real nightmare scenario. It's been a rough couple days. I got a few stories for you people about traveling, about being outside of the US, about not having those creature comforts. And I know that this is a very first-class problem, but it's more so that just trying to stay connected to the first class world, trying to stay connected to the internet and all that stuff, and just to make it my job. I know it's not my paying job, it's just the job that I've given myself. The task that I want to do involves technology and internet and all that stuff. So what's been happening, this just happened a couple days ago. Let's rewind all the way back. We're gonna go back. I've had this apartment, right? It's called the Ivy River Condo. It's in Rat Barana. I talked to you guys about it a little bit. And it's kind of far out there. What was the story? Oh, the story, I was talking about the sauna, the first episode at Ivy River Condo. So I got there. I got to Ivy River Condo, and day 2, was it day 2? I guess day 2, I went to go take a shower. Didn't take a shower for one day. Went to go take a shower, the hot water heater didn't work. In Thailand, like, they don't have running, I don't know, they don't have big hot water heaters. They have the little tiny wall-mounted water heaters in the showers only. Like, you don't get hot water out of the tap, in the sink and like in the kitchen, all that stuff. You only have hot water in the shower because you have a very specific little thing that heats the water for your shower. That was broken. So I hit up my Airbnb host, and she was like, yeah, I'll send the maintenance up there to fix it. I didn't say, because I didn't want to be like, well, I'm actually a handyman and I can tell you for sure that it's not like a fuse. It's definitely a broken machine. But I had to wait for these people to come up, and they came up and they, poked around, and I didn't speak Thai and they didn't speak English, so I just let them do their thing. And they said, they said it needs to be replaced, basically. And I was like, okay, cool. When is that gonna happen? And they're like, no. You need to replace it. Like, you need to go buy a new machine and then have someone come and replace it. Like, that's not part of our duties as like maintenance men for the building to replace your broken appliances. So I don't really hear back from my host, and I told Airbnb at one point, I'll cut this part short, but I told Airbnb that, I was like, it's kind of a bummer. And they're like, yeah, that's kind of unacceptable. We'll help you find a new place. And I was like, well, don't cancel on my host until you find me a new place. This customer service lady calls the host immediately and cancels my reservation. The host is like, all right, well, let me know when you're going to get out of there tonight, because it's like 9 p.m. And long story short, I didn't cancel. The host was like, hot water's not the end of the world. And I was like, I totally agree. It was a pretty reasonably priced place. I stayed there. I was just going to do cold showers. So 2 days after I recorded the last couple podcasts, this was, 3 days ago. I'm sitting there, I'm editing in the apartment, and the power completely just goes out. AC, everything, like the power just dies. This had happened 2 days prior, and it was just the main breaker. So, I just had to get the downstairs maintenance people. I came home, the lights were off, and I was like, hey, my power's out. They came and they flipped the breaker on, bada bing, bada boom, I had power. So I was like, no problem. It tripped. Something's tripping the breaker here. I walked over to the electrical room. There's a guy removing the entire meter. And I'm like, what's up? When's it gonna, I thought he was replacing the meter or whatever. He goes, no money. I was like, what? He's like, no money. And that's just what he said. That's how he said it. No money. He just looked at me and said that. Pointed to a piece of paper, and just like, it was an extremely past due electrical bill. My host didn't pay her electricity bill. So he takes the meter and leaves. This is Friday at like 11 a.m. So I messaged her and I was like, yo, dude, you didn't pay your electricity bill. They just came and pulled the meter out and like totally like hard disconnected you. So you need to figure something out and get your bill paid. She was like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry that I let that go. Just take the bill out of the mailbox, go to 7-Eleven and pay it for me, and I'll send you some money. And I was like, no, I have shit to do. Like, I had a meeting to get to. I had shit to do, so I couldn't go and do that. So I was like, you need to figure this out. And then she was like, once it gets paid, if you just go and pay the bill, it'll automatically turn back on. And I'm like, that is not how electricity works. That is not. I watched the man disconnect the big thing that it needed, that it needs to be connected. Again, didn't want to be like, hey, I'm a handyman, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I was like, that's not how electricity works. It's not going to come back on. So she gets back to me. I was out. I had to go to sit at a coffee shop for several hours and just work out of a coffee shop all day. And she finally is like, hey, so it's not going to come back on until Monday at like 7 p.m. So there's no power, no AC, no internet in the apartment for several days. And I was like, okay, well, that's definitely the straw where I have to get going here. So I like messaged Airbnb and I'm like, here's the sitch. It's on the chat. She said it's, out. And I spent all night on the phone with Airbnb. They were like, yeah, we just have to like verify with her that it's like for sure out, and then we can start looking. Like they didn't start looking for replacement places until 10 p.m. At that point, I was like laying down in a KFC in Bangkok with like no internet, spotty internet and everything, and like no way to accept phone calls, and just like I have a weird SIM card. It's data only, so I had to like pay extra money for each minute I was on the phone with them. I had to pay and get like some crazy number, like a ghost number for voice over internet. It was so hectic. And I was like, you guys need to like put me up in a hotel. Like there's no Airbnbs that are going to check me in at 11 p.m. So finally they conceded that. They were like, yeah, go to a hotel. We'll get you $50 for the night. At first they said they'd give me $20 for the night. And I'm like, I'm not getting a hotel on Friday night in Bangkok for $20. You're crazy. So they gave me $50 for a hotel Friday night, and they canceled on the host, and I went and just like picked some random place. I'm going to Angkor Wat. Anyways, it kind of worked out because I was just like, yeah, I'll just get a place through when I leave for Angkor Wat or whatever, a cheaper place, basically. I was just going to find a cheap little shithole place because I wasn't going to be living here. I'm only living here for like 2 days, and then I'm leaving half of my stuff in the apartment and just storing it here so I don't have to take everything to Angkor Wat for the next 6 days while I'm there. So I get this next place, and it's pretty junky. It's a pretty junky apartment. There's like dead moths hanging all over the place. And Airbnb is like, hey, we want to make this up to you. Like they did pretty well. They like refunded most of the money I had paid that chick. They were going to pay her out of their pocket for the time I had stayed, but they weren't going to charge me for it. So pretty cool of them. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you $100 off for next time too. And I'm like, dude, I've never had a positive experience with Airbnb. Maybe this was too much of just shit. I mean, dude, Airbnb, it used to be a beautiful thing. All these like ride sharing companies, all these sharing companies start off as a beautiful thing, as a way for people to start little businesses and save money or whatever. What has happened though is it allows people to run shitty hotels, basically. Now these people are scooping up, they lease like 3 different apartments, they're hogging up all the real estate, be it rentals or, owning the properties. They hog it all up, and then they're just the shittiest hotels ever. They're just some fucking lady named Jessica who thinks she can run a hotel, and it's just a disgusting, she has 6 disgusting apartments. I hate it. I hate Airbnb so much. There's no accountability. There's no employees. There's no actual company. It's all just like this fake, ethereal bullshit where they're like, well, like there's no one accountable for anything. I'm like, hey, this host didn't pay her bill. And they're like, yeah, that's the host for you. You're going to have to ask her for your money back. And I'm like, no, I paid you the money. But they're like, yeah, but we can't control her. It's a way to be like, yeah, we have all of our employees in the store, but they're independent people. So, if you have a complaint about one of our employees in the store, you just have to take it up with them individually, because we as a whole, even though they're working inside of our system, don't control it. Or they're like, yeah, we have a system that like maybe it'll get addressed. It's just total bullshit. It's a way for nobody to take accountability, and it was pretty. I hate Airbnb. I hate them with a passion, because it's just never a good experience. It's never like a happy person. I don't have those experiences where it's just like a nice family and they're like renting out their little guest house. It's mostly shitty people trying to just run a bad hotel unlicensed. So I get to this next place. There's like bugs hanging off the ceiling, like moth carcasses and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I was filming when I moved, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of a shitty little apartment. Went out for a walk, had to chill because, I spent all day in a coffee shop, all night in a KFC, got to sleep in a hotel for a few hours, had to go back to my old apartment with no AC, pack up all day, and then get a cab into the city to this new Airbnb. And I went for a walk just to like detox a little bit. And I was like, that's actually a really shitty apartment. I don't remember. I thought I booked a pretty decent apartment. So I look back at the pictures. The pictures are completely different. They're like it's a completely different apartment in the pictures. So it's that case where this lady owns like 12 different apartments. They're all decorated horribly except for like 2 that she took pictures of, and just uses the same pictures for all of the apartments. It's just total fraud. It's outright fraud, and it's just everybody's like hands are in the air, like I'm kind of following Airbnb's rules, like if you have a problem with me, you have to go to Airbnb, and then Airbnb is like if you have a problem with them, you're gonna have to take it up with them, and it's just this roundabout nightmare. So no electricity, no hot water, in a crappy place now, but whatever. I hopefully have a good place. When I get back from Angkor, when I go to Angkor, I have a hotel, which at least, that's a company that actually owns a property and actually pays certain employees, like just has a normal fucking business model, not one of these like 2018, fucking 2019, like, yeah, the company doesn't exist. We just got $100 million in funding. Everybody comes into work and we're going to run that money into the ground, and then the company closes. Every startup is like that. Yeah, we're going to revolutionize. We are disrupting the luggage industry. Okay? We're not going to be like all the other luggage companies, and they pay all the influencers to what was that luggage company? I forget now. My ex bought one, and it was like 5 stars on Amazon. They bought all the reviews on Amazon. They were just 5-star reviews for these stupid bags, Radon bags or something like that. Radon, I don't know, Raiden, I think. They were just, these sleek looking carry-on bags, plastic, sleek, whatever, have the USB bullshit, TSA locks, whatever. But they had all the influencers writing about them on Refinery 29, and they had all the YouTube videos and the Instagram vloggers. They're all paid to advertise this bullshit. They're all given free shit and they're paid. Then they buy all these Amazon reviews. So it's like, oh my God, you have to see this insanely highly rated luggage. You buy it, it's a piece of shit, breaks in 2 months. I went back, and because like when the breakup happened, I was like, you want your luggage? She's like, no, you keep it, or you can use it or whatever. I looked it up. The company went out of business within like 8 months. Just total shit product. They just sold it all out and then closed up. No follow through whatsoever. Their Amazon reviews, once customers actually used the stuff, went down to like 1 star. It's just like, that's what startups are. There's 18 people and they're like, we run a pizza app. Fuck off, man. God, I hate these. I hate Airbnb so much. So I'm going to Angkor. I'm really excited for that. That's a big bucket list thing I've been really excited to get back out, get on the road, get traveling again, and just like moving. Angkor, gonna see some really old temples. There's some other temple there. There's like a bunch of different things I know I need to see. I need to start doing research on it because I leave in less than 12 hours. But it's, a bunch of really old temples. They allow drones, which is great because they don't in Bangkok. So it's been kind of risky to get drone shots here. And I'm just really excited to start filming some cool shit again. So, Angkor, look out for that. Hope you guys, hope I'm getting some new people. I've seen the YouTube numbers jump up a little bit, which is fun. The channel's growing, so get on board. it's been a fun little ride, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. What else has been happening? What else has been? Oh, so then that brings me to the hard drive. So we're getting the episode in the can. I had yesterday, Sunday, I was like, today that's gonna be my good day. Saturday was kind of a lazy day. Sunday was gonna be the work day, so that Monday was kind of a chill, finishing up doing housekeeping or whatever. And what ended, I woke up early, I went to a coffee shop, and I went to go edit. I had a meeting at noon, and I was like, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop at like 9, and I'll edit for a few hours. And I go to start editing, and the Premiere Pro software, the video editing software, is like, hey, we can't access any of these video files, like any of the raw video files. So I look, and it's all on my hard drive. My hard drive has been slammed, like straight, just like I have 494 gigabytes of 499 gigabytes taken up because I have all these projects in the works. So I have all these all these raw video files on my hard drive. I'm trying to edit, and it's like, no, we can't do that. So then I'm like noticing that they're also saying that I need to download them from the cloud. So I was like, okay, I'll start downloading it. Well, 500 gigabytes of video footage I'm trying to download over like a coffee shop Wi-Fi, it just doesn't happen. I go to my meeting at noon, from noon to 1, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi there, trying to download it, like nothing's coming. And it's also like uploading shit to the cloud the whole time. So something was happening with my hard drive, and it was just, I'm new to Mac, so I didn't know how to set this up, but I had it set to be like pulling shit off of my hard drive. Normally people do this with photos or whatever. Whenever you put anything in your documents or on your desktop, they back it up to the hard drive. What I didn't know is here's the bullshit they pull. So with your video files and your pictures, they pull the real file onto the cloud, and then they leave a copy on your computer, on your hard drive, so it doesn't actually free up any space. They leave a copy on your computer, but it's like a lesser compatible file. So it's the same exact size, taking up all the space, and you can view it, like you can watch your videos, but if you wanted to, like, say, pull it in and edit the file in Premiere Pro or edit your photos or whatever, that is a no can do. Then you have to spend the time to re-download your files. Here is the real kicker though. They have the files still on my hard drive, so when I would try to download them, they would say you don't have any space to download. So I was like at a total stalemate. I had all my real files on the cloud, yet these like shitty copies on my hard drive still, and then I wanted to try to move them over to the external hard drive. Second kicker, you also cannot go straight from the cloud to the external hard drive. You have to go cloud to computer, computer to external. Just come on. Like, I don't know if any of you people are tech people, but it's just like the dumbest system. And I know that I could have just never used iCloud in the first place. This wouldn't have happened. But for it to automatically, they're like, while you sleep at night, Apple comes in and steals all your shit, and we move it to the cloud. And then I'm like, but you don't actually move it. And they're like, well, no, we leave you a copy. We leave you an unusable copy. As a video editor, we figured you would want an unusable copy of all of your footage taking up your hard drive space. So then when I try to delete it, when I try to download it, no can do. So it was a real nightmare. I tried for hours to figure out a workaround other than like move 1 gigabyte at a time from the cloud to my hard drive and then to the external, like just the most tedious task. I couldn't do it. I was just like beside myself because my whole Sunday was going to be work, and I couldn't do it. And I couldn't call Apple because I'm on a 12-hour difference. So I had to wait until like 9 p.m. And I crumbled. I was crying. I was begging for sweet, sweet death. There's nothing more that is frustrating than just like a technical. I don't know why. I've tried so hard through like the program, the AA program and all that shit. That's like the biggest defect of mine. It's just the stupidest little shit. When I cannot figure it out, it drives me insane. And I tried to like not go near my laptop and not touch it. And not try to fix it, knowing that I couldn't, and I kept going back there, man. I was just begging for sweet, sweet death to come, and end this suffering. I mean, it's so stupid in hindsight, but in the moment, man, it was so fucking infuriating. Long story short, it was downloading it to 3 places. So it was I would put a file from a memory card, and I would go and throw it on my desktop. So it was keeping a bad copy on my desktop, moving a real copy to the cloud, but then also moving a real copy onto my hard drive in the archived version of the cloud. Like, fuck you, Steve Jobs. I want you to come back to life so I can kill you again. I want to put you and Tim Cook in a room and just make you fight to the death, and then I come in and I kill whoever wins. I'm so mad at you both. So, you geniuses, you genius people. Ugh. I don't know, man. People always ask if I'm dating when I'm out here, and no, I'm not. I go on Tinder just as a bad habit. I'll delete it and then I'll go on. I had like 2 Tinder dates in Bangkok with the same. Well, I guess I had 1 Tinder date and then a second date, and no, that didn't work out. But the fun thing is the girls in Thailand, they make up fun names. They don't put their real names on there. So there's a lot of girls named Popcorn. There's a lot of girls named Donut. I'm gonna pull it up right now. This may be some of the best content that I've ever created right now, but I'm gonna go on Tinder right now and I'm just gonna swipe right. Not that I do that all the time. I definitely don't. Okay, I swear to God, Olipop is one name. She's 23. Supawadi, I think that's the real name. Toei's a common one, and I don't know what that means, but there's like, I went to a temple called Wat Klong Toi Nok, so I don't know, Toei. Saimai, Sujitra, Bifern, Fern, Steffi, Ratsarin, Ying, Pook, Mean, Deer, Mimi, Dai, D-A-I, not like D-I-E. Of course there's none coming up now. Ning, Kanlaya, Leah, Noe, Mai, Peng, Poppy, Manny, Supanza, Ploy, Kate. I don't know. This didn't work out, you guys. This didn't work out at all. I swear, there's none. They're all real names now, and I feel like now I'm just sound like I'm making fun of their names, but I swear to God, there's Popcorn. Actually, my friend sent me a picture. Her guy friend was swiping on Tinder, and there was a girl named Alzheimer's. They do. I mean, I don't know what's the purpose, or what they just grab onto some English word, because it's not even like a nickname a lot of times. Like Donut. I've matched with at least 8 donuts, and it's just a 20-year-old Asian girl, but her name on Tinder is Donut and Popcorn and Dog and apparently Alzheimer's. So that's the fun part about, that's the Tinder names bit. I had it on my list as Tinder names. Moving down the list, what else? Get rid of the book. Get rid of the book, guys. We're going in. I tried to get back into stand-up comedy lately, and it is a nightmare. I have so many friends that I've been watching just blow up, and it's great. It's so fucking cool. I'm happy for all my friends. Like I'm truly not. I don't have the bitter and the jealousy anymore of like what they got that Bob Bus. I mean, like just I don't even. Whatever. I'm not trying to like name drop. Just I'm so happy. People getting late night sets. People just doing well. It seems like they're making money doing comedy. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I'll ever get back into it. So I had a meeting. I went to a meeting here in Thailand, and at my sober program, Winky Winky, and nobody showed up for the meeting. The chair or whatever, whoever was supposed to run the meeting never showed up. It was just me and a Scottish dude. And he seemed kind of reserved. He was like, he ended up telling me that he doesn't share much. So you go to these meetings, they do the whole like, welcome to this meeting, here are the rules of the meeting, we're going to talk about one person's going to talk about a certain subject, or we're going to read a little thing, and then it's open to shares. And you don't have to share if you don't want to share. But me and this guy were there, there to do our meeting for the day. So we just talked for an hour, and it was really cool. It was like one of the most unique meetings I've ever had, to call it that. But we just talked, and he even said he's like not a guy that shares, but he was like really opening up. One thing that was interesting, he mentioned, he was like, yeah, I used to be a boxer, and he just let that go. And I was like, half hour later, after we talked about sobriety and all that shit, I was like, so you were a boxer? Like, were you a big boxer? Like you're freaking Scottish boxer. And he was like, yeah, I mean, years ago, people would know who I was and shit. And I didn't get his name. I didn't want to, it's the whole, you're anonymous, you don't want to be snooping or whatever, but apparently he was like a pretty big name boxer way back in the day. I mean, 10 years ago or whatever, he had a great record he was telling me about, but then he tells me that his sponsor told him to not even talk about boxing anymore. Forget doing it, forget training. And this is also something that Mike Tyson, another sober person, has talked about. Mike Tyson, I'm paraphrasing what this guy was paraphrasing. I think he was talking about Mike Tyson going on the Joe Rogan podcast. And Mike Tyson was talking about how he does not train anymore. He does not work out anymore because that is competitiveness, and it's all ego driven. It's all about your ego. And that is what drives like the alcoholic mind is an obsession with ego and competition and all that shit. So Mike Tyson says that he doesn't work out anymore. He doesn't do like serious weightlifting and training and all that shit because it brings him back to the boxing days where he was this egomaniac. So this guy's sponsor told him, you can't even talk about it. Even talking about getting back into boxing or talking about, your glory days and, I could see this guy, but it starts to stoke that ego, and you're trying to destroy your ego through this whole program. So it was really interesting to hear that, and I could see even when he was talking, he did kind of break that a little bit, and he was talking about boxing, and I could see him, getting excited, and it's kind of sad, really, because there's that passion, there's that fire there, but you have to recognize when it does destroy and it's a negative thing. And I had a really strong feeling that stand-up is that kind of thing for me. It's so ego-driven for me, and it's really tough. This is a little less. There's no competition. I don't know. I don't know what it is about podcasting, producing content. It's a little more artistic, I guess. I have no idea, but something about just the immediate, gratification of it. Like YouTube videos, you put them out there, they might take off months later or whatever, or they're just out there. They're just a thing you created and produced. You don't have to like do that video every single night and watch it sometimes die, or you're always trying to find out what you did right or what you did wrong. And it's an ego-driven thing for me. So I was really kind of nervous to get back. I actually had this meeting, I think, like a day before I was planning to go over to Kosan Road. Hint, hint, if you guys haven't seen that video, it's a real fun video. I went over to Kosan Road, which was like the crazy debauchery. I guess, no, there's Soy Cowboy is the road where it's just nothing but sex places and like, sex bars. And then there's Kosan Road, which is like also strippy kind of bars, and there are prostitutes there, but it's mostly people just getting really fucked up. So I went over to Kosan Road, went over to the Kosan Comedy Club, and was pretty like nervous and just trying to not be inside my head. But I hadn't been on stage in 5 months, right? I'm going up to like an international audience, haven't been on stage in 5 months, and they give me the bullet spot. They say they give me 5 minute. They gave me a 5 minute bullet spot, which is just like, you don't even have time, dude. It's a shit spot, anyways. So I go up and I just fucking bomb, and I like 2 minutes into the set, and they were rowdy, like, right, like the host didn't do a whole lot of taming them. Like, if they're like a rowdy drunk crowd, you're like, hey, I've done, and there's so much ego. There's so much ego coming out in this, where it's like, I've done this, I've done road gigs, I do hosting, blah blah blah, I know all of it, I'm so good at this, I'm so perfect. It's I can't help it. It comes out of me, but I didn't feel like I was giving a lot of help from the host. They were still rowdy. I went up there, made a little joke. Or actually, I had a good little opening joke. Then someone in the audience didn't get it, so this girl had to explain it to him, and I called them out for that. And then that interaction with an audience member early when they weren't told that it's not, a big talking thing, it got these 3 drunk chicks just screaming in the back. And then the next joke didn't go so well, and this girl goes, "This woman behind me is really funny." And I was like, okay, cool. Well, glad someone's doing well in this room. And I just fucking, it just was downhill from there. They were not on board with me, and I couldn't find a rhythm, it's fine. I hadn't been on stage in 5 months. Again, listen to all these excuses. Do you hear all these excuses? All these no, it wasn't really my fault. It was a bomb. So I went out, I sat in the bomb, and I had another show 2 hours later. Oh, that's what it was. And then so I had to go and bark. So on top of this, I'm barking, which is you're standing out in this tourist trap road, trying to get people to come into this fucking back room of a hotel to watch a comedy show. And so I go out there after the bomb. I'm just kind of licking my wounds for a couple minutes, and the booker's like, "Hey, so get back out there. We got another show in 2 hours. You got to get more people for that." I was like, "Fuck." So I go out there, I'm barking again, and they hit intermission, and the chick that was like, she's funny, she should get up there on stage or whatever, walks by with her boyfriend, sees me barking, she walks right up to me and goes, "You were not funny," and just walked away. And just I don't fucking need it. I don't need that. I know. I'm not an idiot. I know that I wasn't funny up there. I know that I bombed. I know that I'm standing out on fucking Coast-Sand Road begging people. All I ever got when I was begging people to come to the comedy show, they're like, "What are you doing here? Why are you trying to sell me shit?" Why? Oh God, it was such a mind fuck. So, bombed twice. Wasn't a whole lot of fun. And then I was told to come back. So it's Monday now. A week ago, I was talking to the booker. And actually, my second set went better, and he said it was good. Whatever they said it was better. He was like, "Yeah, dude, you're fine. You're getting your feet back." That you could see that I had some semblance of knowing what I was doing at some point in my life. I'll say that much. In my second set, so we talked, and he was like, "Yeah, when can you come back?" And we set it today, Monday. I was supposed to go back, so I had the hellacious Sunday. Didn't get anything done on Sunday. And then so Monday, I was like, okay, so I have to fucking buckle down and work. So I got the podcast out, the first episode out today, published a video. That takes a whole lot of, whatever. I was working all day, and then I'm leaving for Angerwatt tomorrow. So I was like, I don't want to fucking go to this comedy show. I know that I'm going to have to go outside and bark for 2 hours before the show. And then I'm probably going to get another 5-minute bullet spot or whatever. But I was like, just keep your commitment, honor your commitment, don't start backing out, don't start committing to comedy shows or whatever, and then backing out. That's shitty. It's a shitty enough business. Don't be another shitty person in an already shitty business. So I got my ass up after working and editing all day and trying to get laundry done and pack and all this shit. I go down, and it is an hour and 20-minute cab ride through shitty rush hour traffic. And I messaged him at 6 or whatever, 6:30, and I was like, "Hey, I might be a few minutes late to start barking, not for the show or anything." I'm just like, "Hey, I'll be a few minutes late. I'm not going to start barking at 7 p.m. for the 9 p.m. show." And he sees the message or whatever, so I'm like, "Okay, I'm cool." Show up there at 7:25, go up to him, and he goes, "Did I know that you were going to be on tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, you did." He was like, "Okay, well..." That bullshitty, fucking spit it out, dude. So I'm just like, "Are you overbooked?" And he was like, "Well, we got this guy who was on Netflix, and he brought his own opener, and they're not gonna fly her out here." No shit, dude. No shit, no one's gonna fly her for your fucking comedy show. I mean, fucking, it drives me nuts that everybody has to fly her for the show. But anyways, so he goes, "Yeah, the guy that's on Netflix brought his own opener, and they're not going to fly her. So I forgot that I had you on, and I called in a bunch of extra comedians to come help fly her for the show. And of course, he's giving them all stage time. So this isn't The Biz, if a big name drops in on the show and you get bumped or whatever, that's one thing. You still get your stage time. Usually it's like the show's going to run a little long or whatever. Maybe you might actually get bumped off the show, but that's not what this was. This was, oh, I'm a fucking shitty booker and I forgot you were there and I called in extra people when I was booked. So I look at him and I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do? He's like, I mean, I could give you like 2 or 3 minutes. 2 or 3. Again, I can't fucking do this. I can't be in this. Like, it's too much of my ego. It's too much of my pride on the line. But that's, it's that's one of those things too in the fucking program and through sobriety. You try to talk about like justifiable anger, and it's still fucking anger. It's still the bad part of you, and it doesn't matter. I don't want to be angry about this shit. And then so yeah, he's like, I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes. So whatever. I'm gonna forgive myself for being angry. Yes, it's justifiable. What the fuck ever. I'm angry about it. I'm gonna talk about it on this podcast, and then I'm gonna get the fuck over it. But so he goes, yeah, I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes. So that means I took an hour and 20-minute cab ride there. I'm gonna have to stand outside handing out flyers and screaming at tourists for an hour and 40 minutes to get 3 minutes of stage time for quote unquote a guy on Netflix. And I was like, yeah, I'll just pass, dude. I'll just pass. And he was like, you don't want to share the stage with someone who has a Netflix special? And I was like, well, the fact that you say it's a guy on Netflix and not their name probably doesn't, that says enough. This isn't about disrespecting a fucking comedian. It's about shitty booking practices and being a shitty part of the shitty business. That's just gonna fucking piss me off to stand out here and do that, Also, I share stages with bigger, again, ego, whatever. I share stage, like, go to New York City. Like, that, my friends are on TV. I have friends on TV. Not that means fucking anything. It doesn't mean anything. But just the way he phrased it, like, as if he was still presenting me with this big opportunity. But that's kind of the whole fucking deal out here too. Like, someone's credit is like that they opened for a guy when he was coming through town once 2 years ago, and that's like still their credit. So it's just a different fucking ballgame. I just can't do stand-up right now. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it to be in my life. I want to. That's almost kind of why I'm doing this, because I get to joke around a little bit more. That's why I'm doing the videos. It's comedy adjacent, but the fucking business of stand-up is just bullshit at most levels. At most fucking levels, it's stupid. And so I proudly, goddamn, I just said I'd pass. And he was like, I can't believe you don't want to share the stage with this. I'm not sharing the stage, all right? I'm gonna be some fucking asshole that walks up there, bombs for 2 minutes. And these people are going to say, why did they do that to us? Why did they let that guy come up here and talk for 2 minutes? Why did he do that? Why does a man do that? Why would a man waste 6 hours of his night to talk to 30 strangers for 2 minutes? Who would do that? Not I. I can't fucking do that anymore. It doesn't mean that much to me. Like, there was fun stuff that I wanted to work on, but damn, dude, that's a long ass time. So I just got another hour and 20-minute cab ride back, and I went and ate some bad food. That's all I do. That's all I have now. I have bad food. To get fat, I'm getting so fat. I feel like I've been doing. I found these things called cheese pies. They have cheese tarts here. They're little tiny tart shells that are like a shortbread / pie crust, filled with essentially what is like a blend between cheesecake and a blend between what's in a cheese Danish. And there is a difference. If you don't know, I can't help you. Okay, if you don't know the difference between those two things. It's pretty much like that, but it's like constantly gooey. It's like it's custardy, and it has a really strong like cheese flavor. Just these little cheese cakes almost, but they're very like, it's like once you break that like the baked brown skin on the top, it's like a really sweet gooey cheese inside. It's fucking heavenly, and I'd go and I got 1 the first time, and then I got 2 the next time, and then I got 4, and then last night I went, not tonight, but last night I went and I was feeling shitty again after the whole hard drive thing, and I ordered 4, and she was like, it's buy 5 get 1 free, and I was like, I'm gonna use a little bit of self-control and say no. And then she starts boxing the 4, and I was like, give me the 6. Just give me the give me the 6, lady. That's what I said. I said, give me the 6. So I ate 6 tarts and continued to eat poorly all day. Been eating very badly. But that's what we do. That's all I can do anymore. I don't drink, I don't smoke. What do? I go and I eat cheese tarts, folks. But I swear to God, if you're ever in Bangkok, or if you're ever in Thailand, or if you're ever anywhere and you see these fucking cheese tarts, they are heavenly. They're beautiful little bits of heaven. I love them. And I am seriously considering just giving up on life and eating these until I succumb to an early death, because they're so fucking good, dude. They're so good. Little cheese tarts. Okay. I think I've rambled and complained about things enough. Is this going to become the Travel Complaints Podcast? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's been a rough couple of days. I hope that was mildly entertaining, you guys. I pray that it was. I pray that you enjoyed that. Next 6 days are going to be an anger walk. Going to be some really cool videos coming out. I hope you guys can't wait to see those. I am super excited to be filming some real crazy old temple-y stuff and like island nature. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it. I hope you guys are excited too. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys look forward to some awesome stories coming up in a little bit. That's gonna be it. Ooh, I just hit my stand goal. I'm sitting down. I've been sitting down talking for 45 minutes, yet my Apple Watch tells me that I hit my stand goal for the day, guys. We did it! We did it! Thank you guys so much for putting up with this. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all. Go subscribe to Unguided Nations on YouTube, youtube.com/Unguided Nations. Hit me up on Instagram at Unguided Nations, at Twitter at Unguided Nations. You can always follow me anywhere. Also, Richie Tolway, RICHIE TOLWAY. I need to stop spelling things for you guys. I think you can figure it out. Just Google it. Anyways, follow me on Unguided Nations, DM me, email me, whatever. Get at me, Snapchat me, WhatsApp me. Hit me up online. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm Richie Tolway with Unguided Nations, and I will talk to you next week on another episode.